Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I am so excited to be able to finally sit down and record another girl talk video. I feel like we are so overdue for a video like this. I haven't done one in like months. As always, you guys know I post my kind of question box on Instagram stories. So if you're not following me there, make sure you follow me. That's where I keep you guys the most updated for sure. I'm always on Instagram. So I'm gonna go through a few with you guys, and I always want to hear your opinion in the comments down below. I love when there's a discussion happening. I read all the comments and I feel like they're super beneficial when you hear like different sides or different opinions to a certain topic. So definitely leave your opinion down below. Before I get into the questions, I just wanted to mention my monthly favorites from Nominal. If you guys don't know, Nominal is a beautiful Arabic inspired jewelry brand, and they have a bunch of pieces that I think you guys would absolutely love. So today I'm wearing my new favorite. This one I actually got in the mail a few days ago and I've been like obsessed with it. I've had it on ever since. It's a really beautiful, dainty, and very simple necklace, which is totally my vibe. It just has like a little gemstone in the middle and it's so delicate, and that's absolutely what I love. Another favorite of mine is this Alhamdulillah necklace. It's so beautiful, and it's just super minimal and it works with everything. And I love that they're all 18 karat plated gold, so they will last you, and there is a guarantee on that, so you know that even if you shower in it or never take it off, it won't tarnish or rust or anything like that. Of course, I can't leave Dawood out of the equation. I always grab him some pieces when I place an order from Nominal, and they have like some of the best jewelry for men. They are so nice and they make such good gifts. I grabbed him these two this time. They're part of their new arrivals and they are so nice, and I feel like these are his go-to whenever he wants to like dress up an outfit. He just has one of these necklaces on. I'm sure if you've ever stopped us somewhere in person, he was wearing that necklace. He's always wearing these necklaces. I always like mention the super dainty and simple ones, but they do have other styles if that's not your style as well. And I'll be linking everything in the description box down below. I will also leave my code Jasmine down below so that you guys can use it at checkout and save some money. But yeah, let's get started on today's questions. So the first one is, I'm obsessed with the idea of getting married. Help. So this is actually like something that I feel like is super common in girls that are like in their early 20s, and they see these like couple goals and like all these like things on the internet that make you believe that marriage is the most amazing thing ever, which it is, but it makes you kind of have this like expectation that marriage is the ultimate goal and that's what I want for myself right now. And you start becoming obsessed with the idea of marriage, and I think an obsession with the idea of marriage can be unhealthy and a little bit toxic. Now, the reason I say this is not to say like marriage is not a good thing and that's not like it shouldn't be something that you strive for. Of course, marriage is one of the most amazing things that I've done in my life personally. I feel like it's the step that I took that kind of altered my future completely in a very amazing way, alhamdulillah. But marriage isn't absolutely everything. And I think that's really important to recognize when you're young as well, because I feel like a lot of girls tend to have that as their ultimate goal, and that ends up interfering with the other things that they could have done in their life to better their experience in life, right? I even say this to my younger sisters: do not make marriage your only goal in life. It really shouldn't be. I think if you keep yourself busy with appropriate things for the time in your life, I think that will really help you realize that marriage isn't everything. I think what you should be focusing on at a young age is your education, your family, your friends, your social life, having fun, you know, bettering yourself Islamically, all that stuff. Really focus on working on yourself first and kind of really understanding who you are and what you want in a partner. That will really help you make the best decision possible when it comes to marriage later on. But try to keep yourself busy with more important things now. I know marriage is important, but it's not the most important thing now, and that's really crucial to figure out, because if you start obsessing over marriage, I feel like that kind of blocks out everything else that you could be doing that could make you successful, happy, you know, just enjoying life. It will block all those things out, and it will leave you obsessed and in a toxic environment where if you don't get what you want, you'll feel like you achieve nothing in life. And that's not how it should be, right? You don't want to live in that like toxic bubble of constantly chasing something that may not be achievable right now or may not even be written for you right now. So try to keep yourself busy with things that will help you grow as a person. And then inshallah, when the time is right and when God has it written for you, it will come to you in no time. The next question is, what if I make more money than him? This is a funny question because obviously we know that there is like kind of like a traditional way of looking at marriage where the man is the breadwinner and the female is kind of like the home, what do they call them? Like the person who takes care of the home, I guess. And that is totally fine. And it works for a lot of people as well. But in today's world, it's kind of difficult to live off of one income. And if you are able to live off of one income, that is absolutely amazing. I feel like that's goals right there. But if you are not able to live off of one income, which is usually the case, you'll find families or spouses that are both working to provide for their household. And if the girl happens to make more money than the man, I feel like that like stereotypically creates like a imbalance, or I don't know, in your head you're probably thinking like, oh, he's gonna think this is gonna make him think less of himself, or he's gonna feel like he's not the breadwinner, or he's not man enough because he's not making enough money, or all those kind of like stereotypical things that you would think. But honestly, I feel like if you have a good communication in your relationship, you making more money is not an issue. I think you guys should be both happy for each other, whatever income you guys are making. Like if he's making more money, amazing. If you're making more money, fantastic. Like I don't think it should be like, oh, who's making more? And it's like kind of like a competition or like a toxic type of atmosphere just because you happen to be making more money and you're the female in the relationship. It's unnecessary and not something you have to worry about as long as you have clear communication and clear standards to how you want to live your life as a married couple. Regardless of if you make more money than him or not, you should definitely establish like how you want to carry out finances early on in your relationship. You want to talk about like who's paying for what, who's going to be the breadwinner, are you going to contribute as the female to the relationship, to buying things for the house, to bills, to groceries, all that kind of stuff. You really have to establish that from the beginning. And that's something you establish even if you make more money than him. Just because you make more money than him, we know that Islamically, you are not obligated at all to contribute if you don't want to. It's something that you really have to communicate about from the very beginning so that these things don't come up later on in the marriage and then you're like, hey, wait, this is not what I pictured my financial situation to be like. Don't assume that the person you're gonna marry is gonna have the same idea about finances as you. You have to make it clear from the start. And to sum it up, I don't think it's a big deal that if you make more money than him. Kudos to you, that's amazing. Next question is, he is everything I want, but he doesn't pray. What should I do? In my opinion, I feel like he isn't everything you want then if he doesn't do one of the things that you want him to do, which is praying. And clearly, if you're asking that question, it seems like praying is important to you, and it very much should be. I think praying is one of the most foundational things in a practicing Muslim, or just a Muslim in general. Like, I feel like praying is the most important part, because we know that when you pray, everything will connect eventually. When you lose your prayer, it's really hard to connect anything else religiously. And I think it's really important to establish, again, these standards before you get into a relationship. You need to really establish these things with your partner and clarify what's important to you, especially when it comes to how you practice your religion. For me, it was a huge factor of like who I was going to pick as a partner is how they practice and whether they practice, because it was really hard at the time when I was like around the age of, you know, being open to marriage. It was very difficult to find someone that was a practicing Muslim, believe it or not. Like, I don't know what was going on with the guys in our community, but they were not it when it comes to practicing. I felt like the girls were mainly practicing in our community and the guys were just kind of like all over the place. And I didn't want that for myself because it was really important to me, and I know it's the right thing to do Islamically to find a partner that reflects who you want your children to look up to, or like how you want to raise your family. And the end goal is not this life, it's the afterlife. So that's what I was thinking when I was at that time. So I knew that I had to set these standards and not budge on them. I wanted someone that was more complete on the deen side. I didn't want to marry someone that was kind of like iffy and skipped prayers and sometimes didn't fast and, you know, didn't really know if he believed in this and that. I really wanted someone solid in their deen. And that's mainly because I didn't want to raise my husband. Like, I didn't want to have to teach these things to my husband. I wanted it to be like a partnership where we grow Islamically together and not one of us having to school the other about get up and pray or why aren't you fasting or this or that. I really didn't want to do that. So if it does bother you that he doesn't pray, I think that's something you should reconsider and something that you should really sit down and have a talk about. Next question is pretty juicy. Should I ask a potential spouse about STDs? Would that be exposing his sins? When I was like at that phase of getting married or getting to know Dawood or whatever, that never really occurred to me, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure if that was just me being like blinded by love or naive or not having experience in that space. Like, I really did not think of that whatsoever. But I know that it's really important to think about that, especially if you know the person you are marrying has been with other people in the past. You know, STDs are a thing, and it's important to protect yourself from things like that, and it's important to know what you're getting yourself into. So, is asking about STDs like interfering, or is it protecting you? That's the question, right? Like, would it be smart to ask about it, or would it be an invasion of privacy? I think the only times where you're exposing someone's sins is if you're like asking about things that don't necessarily pertain or change your life, but this does pertain to you and this does affect you. So I think you have the right to know these things. So if you feel the need to ask this type of questions to your partner, you most likely have a reason why you're asking that kind of question. So I would say it's not an invasion of privacy and it's not really exposing his sins, because it does affect you. And I think it's important to know these things. If it is like, what if he was positive for something? At least you know before getting into the relationship what you're getting yourself into, and maybe that will change your mind. Who knows? I'm not like the most knowledgeable about this space, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Is it important to ask someone about their STD history before getting married? Is it something that you would personally ask, and do you feel like it's exposing the person's sins, or it is too personal to ask? Let me know. Next question is how to get over marriage anxiety. I'm so scared. I had a lot of anxiety about marriage way before I met Dawood, okay? But once I met him, my idea about marriage and being in a relationship completely shifted, and I was no longer anxious or scared. And I think the reason why is because I found a partner that truly understands me and I understand him, and we're very comfortable with each other to the point that fear kind of like wasn't there anymore. Of course, it's not like 100% gone. You're still experiencing something new. Like, I had never been married before, obviously. All these things were new experiences, and just like any other new experience in life, whether it's like related to marriage or not, you are going to feel a little bit anxious or curious or scared or nervous or whatever. And that doesn't go away completely, but I feel like you feel more comforted when you are with someone that truly understands you and you're comfortable with. And that fear of marriage kind of gets less and less and less the more you know your partner before marriage. I think it's really important to understand your partner properly before marriage and feel like you are truly connected, so that by the time you guys do get married, it just feels like the natural next step, and it doesn't feel like something like you're here and you're jumping here. You know what I mean? You have to climb that ladder slowly and really understand who you're going to marry, so that when you do get to this point, it doesn't feel like you took a huge leap and it feels really unnatural and scary. I know this is like a really random question, but this question says, which deodorant should I use? And the reason why I included this in the video is because not every single question has to be about like a marriage, relationships, whatever. It could also be just about girly things, so I'm totally open to questions like that. If you guys want to ask me about like my beauty favorites, my skincare favorites, all that kind of stuff, that's what these videos are for. So this person's asking about my favorite deodorant or what deodorant they should use, and I have one that's really good. This is my all-time favorite deodorant. It comes in 2 scents, and this is one of them. This is the Janeiro Rio Deo aluminum-free deodorant. I hope I'm saying this correctly, but there's also another one that's in like a pink bottle, and it smells divine. Like when I tell you, these smell so good. I'm not sure if you guys know, but this is the same brand that does the Bum Bum Cream, and if you know what the Bum Bum Cream smells like, it smells incredible. It smells like the beach, it smells like summertime, it smells like, you know, tropical coconut. I don't know. It just smells so good, and the fact that they have a deodorant now is so amazing. I've gone through probably like 5 of these so far. I use them obviously every single day, and it just smells amazing. This one actually is described as pistachio and salted caramel, which is like my 2 favorite things. So if you are into like a very sweet, amazing scent and a deodorant that's aluminum free, and it actually really does a good job at like deodorizing. It doesn't stop the sweat because it's not an antiperspirant, it's just a deodorant. But when you do sweat, you'll notice that you won't smell bad. You'll actually smell really good, and you'll smell this all day long. It's amazing. So I definitely recommend this one, and the pink one smells even better. If you can get your hands on it, definitely go for it. Next question is, how do you go by the day with wudu and makeup on? It's a struggle with the bathroom. I do get a lot of questions in my DMs about like, how do you make wudu with makeup on, and how do you keep your makeup on all day while having to pray 5 times a day, etc. And here's the thing, it's actually gotten a lot easier now that I'm in Dubai and that we live here, because here there's prayer rooms everywhere you go. Like if you go to the mall, there's a prayer room, grocery store, prayer room, anywhere you go, like any shopping or outing or restaurant or whatever, there is most likely a prayer room there or nearby. So I never have to wait like all the way till I get home to pray, or have to hold it super long to pray. And I also don't even need to like plan my day around prayer anymore, because prayer can come at any time and I'll be ready for it, and I can go to like the prayer room and pray, because we live here in Dubai and that's how it is. I can basically like make my wudu, do my makeup for the day, go out wherever I need to go if I'm running errands. When it's prayer time, I go pray, and then I'm done everything. I come back home, take my makeup off for the day, cook, clean, do some work, all that kind of stuff, and then it'll be prayer time again, and I already have my makeup off. So that's how it works for me now. But when I lived in Canada, I kid you not, I was like champion at holding my wudu. So all I would do is make my wudu, do my makeup, and hold it literally for like 12 hours. So other than that, I have no tips other than not wearing makeup, of course. But if you have to wear makeup for work or for wherever, you have to find a way to hold it, girl. That's the only way. One thing to really note is that I don't wear makeup every day. I actually have no makeup days more often than makeup days, because I absolutely hate the way it feels on my skin. If you notice that when I'm like on camera with you guys here on YouTube, 90% of our videos are with me and a hoodie on and no makeup, because I could care less about makeup. Today just happens to be that I'm filming some content that needed me to be looking more put together, so that's why I have it on today. But other than that, I literally don't wear makeup most days. Don't feel like you need to wear it every single day, but if you do need to wear it, try to find a way to work around prayer, not the other way around. At the end of the day, nothing is more important than your prayer and the validity of your prayer. So don't let like nail polish, makeup, like all these like materialistic things get in the way of a really solid and quality prayer. Please, it's not worth it. All right, last question. This relates to the deodorant one, I guess. And the question is, what is your favorite perfume? Now, if you guys know me, I am obsessed with perfumes, and I had like the biggest collection back in Canada before we moved to Dubai, but I had to get rid of so many of them and like donate and give away so many of them, because if I had brought everything, that would literally be like the only amount of weight that I would be allowed in the luggage, because I had that many perfumes. So I am very knowledgeable in perfumes, and I kind of like know how every single perfume smells like that you would find at Sephora, for example. And even in the niche world, like I'm pretty good at fragrances. So when it comes to fragrances, it is very, very personal, and each person will like something different. And like one single scent will smell so different on everyone. So whatever I'm recommending right now is literally the fragrance that I love on myself. The fragrance that I wear that I get the most compliments on is actually called Kayali Vanilla 28. This is my second bottle and I've put a pretty big dent on this even though I got this recently. I had the smaller version before when I first tried this and I was in love. If you know me, you know that I love sweet scents. I love smelling delicious. I'm not very much a floral person or like a fresh fragrance person. I am very much like very sweet. I love sweet scents like vanilla, caramel, smelling like a dessert. That's like what I love, and usually that gets me like the most compliments. And this one smells like a grown-up vanilla. It smells like a sophisticated grown-up Middle Eastern vanilla. Kayali is actually Kayali, and it is by Huda Beauty's sister Muna, and like her fragrances are amazing. Like I absolutely love them, but this is definitely my favorite scent by far that she has, and it pairs so well with everything, and I can't get over how delicious it smells. So if you want to smell like the most amazing grown-up vanilla, definitely go for this one. And then I recently got this fragrance, which is the the Bond number 9 NYC New York Nights. I ordered this online from Fragrance Buy because it was so much cheaper than in store for some reason. When I was in New York, this was like really expensive, and then I found it on fragrancebuy.ca and it was like half the price. So this smells like banana bread and vanilla. And you're like, Jasmine, like why the heck do you want to smell like banana bread? Why not? This is so good, you guys, and it lasts really long and I get so many compliments. My mother-in-law loves when I wear this actually. Anytime I wear it, she's like, what are you wearing? It smells so good. And then a third one, I'll give you guys one that's like easier to find, I think. This is the Moschino, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but it's the, what is this called? Toy 2 bubblegum, and this literally smells like roses and bubblegum, and I'm not like a rose person at all. Like it's probably my least favorite scent, like roses, but this one is like so cute. It smells like literally like, you know, like double bubblegum, like so good and so like fizzy and like yummy, and then it also has like a rose scent in the background to make it a little bit more grown up and not like a kid's fragrance, I guess. And it's very like wearable. It's not like super heavy or annoying, and anytime I wear this, Dawood compliments me and he notices it. He knows when I wear this perfume. He's like, oh, you're wearing the bubblegum one. Oh, and pair this with that deodorant that I showed you earlier. You're gonna smell like a snack. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the questions, and I hope it kind of started a conversation down in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts on everything that I discussed today. If you guys do have more girl talk questions, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I always put up the question box over on Instagram. It's just easier to keep track of the questions there. And I would love to do these videos more often if you guys have more unique questions that most people will find helpful. Don't forget to check out Nominal down below. I'll leave my top favorite picks for you guys there with a discount code for you guys to use. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!